Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And guess who's back on X?
Who? Which one now?
Mark Hamill.
Oh, he just couldn't stand it. Shocker.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. Mark Hamill. So he made a big deal about how he was going to leave X because it was toxic and yada yada, which is his right. I mean, if he doesn't want to post on X, that's fine. He went to Bluesky.
Stick to it.
Yeah, he made a big deal about how he's going to Bluesky, and this is like the second time he came back.
He probably doesn't get enough attention on Bluesky. They all don't get enough attention. That's why they come back. How many of them left Bluesky and they come back to Twitter because they aren't getting as much attention as I think they should get on Bluesky? Or even Bluesky, it's so ridiculous that you aren't even far enough left for them. I don't know.
Well, that's what happened to Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner made a big deal. He was leaving X. He went to Bluesky, and they got canceled. Rob Reiner, right? Meathead, right? He was pretty far left. He got canceled on X after like a week, right? So
yeah.
It's like, I mean, they're eating their own over there. But yeah, nobody's going over there unless you're super far left because it's not a place for normies. And you know, a lot of these celebrities have, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions of followers on X. They're not going to give that up.
Well, as I said, I'm like, you know, they're going to Bluesky trying to make it like, oh, we're going to make this one the big one for next time so we can, you know, influence the elections again. And oh wait, I said that out loud. And now it's not growing. It's just kind of like it's just stunted over there. And so now here they come back. Oh gosh. And then guess it's all Trump. I hate Trump.
Yeah, this is his first post. I hate this guy. Same.
Okay, well, I hope he's not doing any Star Wars projects because, you know, they fired Gina Carano for political posts. So
yeah, Jacob Airy. He used to write for us. He was a good writer, by the way. Bluesky wasn't all it was cracked up to be, Mark. Yeah, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about it before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Yeah, they just can't stay away. We'll talk about Mark Hamill, then we'll talk about another Mark. We'll talk about Mark Waid, who is still.
Yeah, I heard about
on a
that.
tirade. He said
God.
I think a lot of these guys are just very, very emotional. And he was like, I'm never going to write superheroes again because I'm so distraught the bad guys won, except for my new superhero book coming out this month.
I know. I was like, dude, just stop. You know what?
Stop.
Maybe, okay, here's an idea. Maybe just do your job and stay off of social media. If it upsets you so much, just stay the hell off of it. It's like, you know, and if anybody was acting this way and they were incessantly posting like, I hate Biden or I hate whatever, they would have had a hissy fit.
Yeah. We got lots of it. We can start crying about it. Are you supposed to abandon hate or whatever? What happened to being the party of love, peace, and tolerance, Mark?
They're never about tolerance. You're supposed to tolerate them, but they don't have to tolerate you.
Same. Would you consider Trump as Vader or Palpatine? There's some here, but yeah, it's Mark Hamill waking up today. That's just it. Like
he's become grumpy Luke.
Yeah. When your entire personality,
it's funny.
When your entire personality has become hating one politician or a political party on social media, and you don't get that hit, right? Like people want the hit, even if they're like, I hate Trump, I hate Musk. If they weren't around, what would you do? Because we saw what happened, right? If there weren't any quote unquote bad guys to fight, and we saw like MSNBC collapse almost, and it got sold off, and you need a villain, right? You need somebody to be the villain because you don't got nothing else.
And the thing is, he went to Bluesky, and you know it's the echo chamber they always dreamed of, but they keep coming back.
Yeah. God. I'm back from Bluesky. Look at me. Calm down, little Trump hater. I found your binky. Oh boy. So that's the thing. Like, I think if he hadn't made such a big ass deal about leaving, like I'm leaving because of the bigots and the Nazis, and I don't feel safe here. And then he goes over here and it's like, well, I mean,
fine. If you want to leave, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
But don't come back if you're going to make a big deal about it.
Right. I just feel bad. I'm like, what the hell happened to Mark Hamill? Where is actual Mark Hamill? Like, I can't believe. Like, I think he's been replaced with a pod person. But no, look, why is he coming back? Look at the interaction. All he does is retweet this guy. He gets 1.4 million views. You go over to Bluesky. Let's see some of his posts over here. This one's got 8.9 thousand, 4.9 thousand.
It's not enough.
6.5 thousand. No, you need millions of views to feel validated and relevant. So that's why you're coming back. But I mean, look, Blue Sky's become a ghost town because you chased all the normal people off. Not that I don't think there were.
Yeah, no, people tried to go over there, and if you don't have the right opinion, they cause you trouble, and it's not growing to the way they wanted it to, and so they're all like, okay, quick, hurry up and take back over X. Well, it's not going to work.
Oh, this should be good. I have to look at the comments on this. He's promoting King of Kings, which you said.
I know, it was interesting to me that he's going to be in King of Kings.
I am sure they love it on Blue Sky. Let's look at these comments. Incredibly disappointing, Mark, making a movie specifically tailored to tell kids the watered down version of the Bible just to pull them into the cult. That's pretty effed. Mark, buddy, what the fuck?
This might be why he came back to X.
Oh, interesting. Jesus is awesome. It's the many hypocrites in America who claim to be followers but do the opposite who are the problem. I wouldn't disagree with that. I think that's actually a good assessment.
Yeah, but they also think that it means that it's acceptable to do a lot of other things that necessarily isn't the case either. You know what I mean?
Here it is.
Jesus would have been a lot nicer about a lot of things.
Here it is. Laura for the people. It's a tough time to see something like this featured prominently by someone I deeply admire and respect. My family is queer and trans. We have been severely othered by the growing Christian nationalist movement. I'm certain.
Well, wait till I tell about other religions that don't like them either. But you guys always blame it on Christians.
Is this why he's coming back? Maybe it is. Because the movie did pretty well for a Christian movie. It did,
but you're not allowed to do that. You're allowed to do any other thing you want. You're allowed to insert anything into anything, especially if that makes some people very excited. But you are not allowed to do Christian anything. Like, you're not allowed. You can do any other religion, that's fine, but you can't do Christian things because then you're just a terrible person.
I'm certain you and other artists have done positive things with your craft on this work and have reason to be proud. But I have a hard time supporting Christian messaging in film until more Christians stand up for diverse peoples and follow the actual teachings of Jesus. Well,
Jesus didn't go around saying that, you could be, if your name's like, Kevin, you could be, Kelly. That's not what Jesus said. I'm sorry.
That's a very,
that's not what he said.
No, that's not what he said. I get the sentiment, but what happens? And I have a very complicated relationship with this particular subject. I almost went to seminary. You knew that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how many people in the audience knew that, but I think she is correct in some way, but I think people use that as a reason to hate Christians too. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, well, Christians don't act very Jesus-like or very biblical, therefore Christians and Christianity are bad, therefore the Bible's bad, therefore Jesus is bad.
But they're also implying that assuming that Jesus would agree with a lot of the stuff they do too. And
that is true.
Jesus would totally hang out with people. He would go where, the sinners were. But his point wasn't to be like, but it's okay, you keep doing that. He would go there because he wanted to make sure that I am the way, the truth, life. You followed him and you were, became Christian Jewish at the time. And it's like it wasn't because he was there to say, it's okay that you do that. That's not what he did. He was just very tolerant. And that's just the thing. It's like, I personally believe in, I have no problem with anyone. Like, I don't care. If you identify differently, I really honestly I don't care. I will try to respect your pronouns. I don't care. My issue is when you are a complete asshole. That's when I have an issue. It's like, because I understand you, just because I believe in the Bible doesn't mean you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you shouldn't have to just because I say it. I mean, that's your choice. But if you're an asshole, I'm sorry, God, but it's true, then I won't get along with you.
So how we get into a religious argument over Mark Hamill?
No, but it's so funny that he goes, I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, right. So we got this guy here. The last thing America needs right now is more Jesus. America is going through a de-enlightenment. Knowledge and science and fact are losing out to ignorance. And
which science though? Which science though? That's what I want to know. It's about ignorance and you have to believe the science. Which science? Because, science, biology says one thing and you don't want to believe that. But then you're all like, oh, global warming and all this other crap. Well, it was going to happen no matter what. But it was like, which science? I always think it's so funny when they do that because they throw around usually science. The science behind the vaccines that you all, were like, you have to believe it because it says so. And now there's all kinds of documentation from science saying that they were bad. Which science do you believe? And that's what I get so mad when they use the believe the science bullshit.
So I think this is very funny. This I find this highly amusing.
This could be why he came back to.
I am wondering. This is what happened to Rob Reiner too. Rob Reiner went over there, and I forget what his take was off the top of my head. I think he was basically like, look, we don't have to agree with everybody, but like you need to at least try to, realize that. Look, we're gonna have this guy as president for the next 4 years. You're gonna have to like learn to deal with it, right? I think it's something.
And then how dare you?
And how dare you, Rob? And then he's just like, yeah.
But then he goes over there and promotes the King of Kings, and then they dogpile him. Like, what did you expect?
What wouldn't it be wild if Mark Hamill, like, this is his arc and he becomes like a fundamentalist Christian or something?
No, that's not going to happen. Especially when he's like, I hate this guy, Sabe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I doubt it. I know Christians, I hate him though. So.
I don't know. I just think this is wild. Anyway, so yeah, Hamill can't stay away. I am very surprised. I mean, I don't know if it was in his contract or he actually was proud of the movie, but I am shocked that he promoted a Jesus movie on Bluesky.
Yeah, well, it didn't go very well for him.
It did not go well for him.
Speaking of people not doing well, Mark Hamill.
Oh, well,
Mark
since
Waid.
we're talking about Jesus, happy Easter, by the way.
Oh, yes, happy Easter.
If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. Even if you don't, chocolate's pretty good. Have some chocolate. There you go. Mark Waid, yeah, he's a grumpy bunny these days. He's not
don't offend bunnies.
Just there's a lot of deeply unhappy, very, very miserable people that they really truly think that like Trump is the absolute worst thing that's ever happened in the history of mankind.
He's like, the bad guys have won. This is the guy who got in trouble because he was, with tortious interference trying to cost somebody their book deal because he didn't like their politics. There was alleged, I mean, I don't know if it's true, but there was alleged that he was leading different things behind the scenes about
cancel brigade,
canceling people, harassing people, threatening possibly to hurt people, that kind of thing. Now, I don't know if it's true. I'm saying there was talk that he was behind that. And
there was definitely some blacklisting going on.
There was blacklisting.
His name came up a lot. I mean, I don't know.
So I'm like, and I remember saying then, I'm like, well, bad guys, that's not what heroes do. Heroes don't do this in the shadows. They don't do this. That's not what heroes do. So it's funny that he's like, the bad guys have won, because as far as I was concerned, his behavior was what I would consider bad guy behavior. He lost, but I'm saying it was bad guy behavior.
He just thinks he's Batman.
It's like, dude, you turn
rich and nuts, just like Batman.
Politically pickled. They're so flippin' politically pickled. It's ridiculous. I don't understand it. It's like they let politics dominate their entire lives, ruin
that's
their
what
joy.
I'm talking about.
And they're just, instead of being like, I get to work on comics every day and how cool is it? He's just like spending all his time being pissed about Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, all these guys are just like, and they're
and they
men
were pissed about him before he came back.
Yes. Like, even if he lost, they would spend the next 4 years gloating about how he lost. And then they would be like, okay, now let's go after everybody who supported him. Let's go lynch Elon Musk. Let's go, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just weird. And it seems like it's like the older guys are the ones that are the most unhinged. You know what I'm saying?
The older guys are like the women, like the Karens. Like
they are.
Karens.
They're like a bunch of Karens, right? Like, I mean,
it's just, I don't understand it. Like, I can't imagine. I mean, you don't have to like Trump. I mean, I think some of the things he does is okay, and some of the things he does I don't agree with. Same with pretty much all the other people that have been in office. I try to stay in the rational middle range. But like, look.
There is no more rational middle.
We exist, but the media tries to say otherwise. But you have these people that they spend their entire life just obsessed. And I don't understand it. Like, how miserable are you? Your entire life is just obsessed with this stuff.
And that's the other side of it too. I mean, the other side of the aisle too. It's not just one way. It's like, I mean,
well, no, I didn't say it was. I'm just saying people that are like really obsessed in general.
If we're being fair about it, there were people that spent 4 years just obsessing about every damn thing that Biden did.
Right.
But it's like, don't you have any outside interest? Don't you have like a life outside of politics on Facebook and Twitter? And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really bizarre.
It's not my job to tell you how to vote. I'll talk about pop culture and how things tie into it, but it's not my job to tell you. And honestly, people just disagree with me all the time and vote differently all the time, and I honestly don't care. I'm like, I'm not going to be a dick to you over it.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's just very weird that these are guys from, now Waid is younger than Mark Hamill, but like that we're seeing these older guys, usually older guys historically are kind of like, I'm kind of beyond they talk politics, but it's just kind of one of those things that comes up just in kind of casual conversation. I don't get too upset about one or the other. Like my grandfather and his brother. Yeah, they had very different political. My grandfather was conservative. His brother was a Democrat, very, very much so. And I loved him. Uncle Richard, he was a great guy. I loved him. He was a vet. He was a Korean War vet. He was injured. He was in the Air Force, but he was, they would get into arguments, but like, and it came up often, but it wasn't like, they were just like a couple old guys who would talk about that. And then they start talking about cars, and then they start talking about, well, things aren't the way they used to be or whatever. And that's how it always was. And now it's just like, but it didn't like dominate your entire personality. Like,
couldn't be family or anything like that. You're just like, okay, let's go.
Yeah. Like he was on Facebook. He wasn't out there on Facebook calling, conservative Nazis or anything like that. No. I mean, it was just like, it came up. It was like they had different political opinions, and that's fine. And they would talk about it, and that's fine. But now they're like, well, you can't even talk to your family anymore if they don't agree with you. And it's like, God, it's a little drastic, isn't it? I mean, if your family makes you miserable, if they make you absolutely miserable for whatever reason, you don't have to be around anybody, I guess, you don't want to be around, but like to do it just over politics, it's like, no, there's some bigger issues going on if you feel like you got to cut your family off. I don't know. It's just.
But anyway, Mark Hamill's back on Twitter.
Twitter. X, because, he wasn't getting enough attention, and also he got blasted for promoting the Jesus movie. So there we go. Happy Easter.
Yes. There you go.
We're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.